Hey guys, for this video, we're going to go ahead and go over the Potara category. Tune in tomorrow for a breakdown / team build guide for the new Vegito LR card that is coming out. And also stay tuned to the end of this video for a special note from me. Hey guys, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. As promised, we're going to go ahead and go over the Potara category. I'm going to help you guys build a team for this category, and subscribe if you're new, all that other good stuff. So first and foremost, Kefla. If you have that unit and you don't wind up pulling the LRs, we don't know how you're going to go about pulling LRs yet, or what they're going to do, but if you have Kefla, you can go ahead and use her as the leader and take an LR friend, or if you don't have an LR friend, you could take a Kefla friend, whatever, right? Because I expect Kefla to pop up more frequently in the friends list whenever this Vegito becomes acquirable / Goku Vegeta LR. So here is the entire category, right? Here we go. This is the full category right here. All the lists of available units that can be used on this team. Some spectacular, some not so much. Now, as far as this goes, one thing you can notice that we have several SS Blue Vegitos, and we have two different, well, two technically, and then we have the LR variant that transforms into, but we have two Super Vegitos, physical and AGL, and then of course, like I said, the LR that transforms into them. So if you're not familiar with the transform mechanic, the card does not start off as Vegito. In fact, I will say that if you have a good team, you will very rarely see Vegito. To be 100% honest, you may see Vegito one time per event, and they're adding new boss rushes, for example, so and that's going to reset. So say you beat SS4 Goku, right, and then as soon as you're done with him, it will reset whenever you start SS4 Vegeta's event in a boss rush, hypothetically speaking. A lot of people are really missing this because the requirement is after, what, 6 turns or so, and your HP is 50% or below, you get the one-time chance, or I say one time, but I presume that you're going to stay transformed for the rest of the fight anyway. But you get the chance to transform into Vegito / Gogeta. That is deep into the event in my mind. So it's like, maybe you have one more boss to beat on the event. So say you're playing SS4 Goku's event. Again, you beat the first stage, you beat the second stage, and you make it to Goku and you're good to go. Say you're playing Cooler's event. You beat the first stage with all his squadron there. Then you beat him and Thouser. Then by the time you're midway through the AGL phase, they transform, and then you fight the physical phase and you're done. So don't expect to have it all the time. And the better your team is, the less likely you're going to see it, because your units will hit harder, they'll have more dupes invested and things of that nature. That's one thing I wanted to point out. A lot of people are missing that. But when this unit does transform, they get incredible. They actually pick up the ability to counter, so that'll help you out with clearing events faster anyway, because the unit itself will get a lot better, right? The ability to counter is going to be really, really good, especially for the people that can pull a duplicate, because this card starts off as an intelligence unit and it stays an intelligence unit basically. So since it's an intelligence unit, its free path is the dodge. So since it can dodge, it can't crit or additional. So keep that in mind. A lot of people think that counters aren't so good even without criticals, but that's not true, because what happens is your counters go from doing 160, 220,000 or whatever, 160,000 to 220,000, a little higher depending on your dupe investment, depending on who you're fighting, type advantage, disadvantage, and things like that. But with the ability to have a critical on that, it goes from that to like basically double damage. So it's better, but it's still really, really good either way. So keep that in mind. It's not a bad gimmick if you don't have critical hits. So they picked that up, and link set does change, actually. They pick up Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, Power Bestowed by God, Fused Fighter, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So one notable thing that's not there that the team would like is Over in Flash. Of course, this unit doesn't have that because no Super Vegito ever really did, and it didn't really fit this unit as a unit anyway, as a character. So it's not that bad. Awesome link set. Only thing that I would say that other Super Vegitos could have that this guy doesn't is that other link that was Shocking Speed on the AGL that got changed to being in fighter on the physical unit. So if we go to the team build guide, right, it's not going to let me use that unit innately. It's going to let me use the Goku and Vegeta one, so keep that in mind. It will change, right? And forgive me if I get confused at any point, because one thing that's going to happen is this unit has I need to actually make the comparison really quick, because this one has Fused Fighter. So that's another 2-key link that's actually very important to remember. Prepare for Battle and Fused Fighter are the 2 key links that unit has. The unfused one has Prepare for Battle and Saiyan Lineage. Okay, so since that's the case, right, if we come back over here, we're going to add the 2 best or hardest hitting Transcendent URs in the game under this new category leader. I've said it several times, the better the leader skill, surprise units can pop in, and these 2 units are now the most 2 damaging Transcendent URs in the game. The 2 Vegito cards prior to the new one, the last 2 ones released are right there. The 2 Vegito, Super Saiyan Blue and Super Vegito. 2.8 million attack is generated by the new tech one. 2.3 is generated by the physical. So those 2 are impeccable, incredible, awesome, incredibly good units, right? So they go onto this team no matter what you say. So here's the deal. The link set pretty much is the same. Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, and Super Excited Zan. That's a fierce battle, super fierce battle. So add on to that Fused Fighter, okay? So keep that in mind. So 4 links are shared between the new leader whenever he's transformed and this guy. In fact, I'm pretty certain these 2 at the top don't link once he's transformed. So for Vegito in this case, he will only be able to trigger these links whenever the unit is Goku and Vegeta. So as far as rotations go, I would say the #1 rotation with these 3 units would be this right here, because again, there is no cutoff in that this guy transforms and he picks up a different name, in which that would be the same name as this guy. And unless they do something wonky where they're able to link despite having the same name, which typically does not happen in this game unless a link like, Limit Breaking Form or whatever is active, or Kamehameha, unless they do something wacky, this guy, Vegito, the Super Vegito physical unit, is not going to fit on a rotation at that point that they transform, but he'll be fine prior to the transformation. So Vegito Blue, anyways, hardest hitting Transcendent UR. Now, took that slot from Gotenks a while ago, I imagine, but that's how things are now. That's a top rotation. But we're going to talk about, and don't worry about it, I'll talk about options. I always get, what if I don't have this? I will talk about options, okay? So if you don't, if you do have, in a perfect world, if you have everything, right? The next unit you're going to put in is obvious. It's Goku Black LR. Goku Black and Zamasu. So they fit on the team. They actually don't fit super well, to be 100% honest. They do not fit super well because they're not a fused character. If that was Merge Zamasu instead as an LR, that would fit a lot better because he'd have Fused Fighter. So since they do not have Fused Fighter, they're reliant on Prepare for Battle. So since that's the case, again, they don't link super well. So there could be situations that they don't get their Ultra Super. But what happens is you have to discern as the player whether or not you want your second rotation to cater to the LR Black and Zamasu card. Now, it may sound weird saying that, but understand one thing. That card is a really, really good unit, or slash card, whatever, you get my point. The tech card is a really, really good card, right? But it's slow, and this team is catered to DPS, so it doesn't really fit the mold of the team build. Innately, the best rotation for that card would be these 2, of course, because Goku Black I'm going to put on the team anyway because he's just so good. There's a lot of the intangibles, despite the fact that this team doesn't really feature villains. He's going to allow himself to start off with more ki, and the LRs to start off with more ki, and trigger 6 links between the 2, which basically means the LR is able to get its Ultra Super pretty much every single time you see it on that second rotation. So you'd have a Vegito, Blue, and Goku and Vegeta rotation at the top, alongside your second rotation being the LR and Rose. And Vegito right here will be a floater in that third slot. You don't see him but once every 3 turns. And then aside from that, in the very, very last slot, you can do one of several things. You would put either, keep one thing in mind too. I want to point this out. The leader skill, okay, allows you to run an intelligence type unit, and to great effect, actually. They are able to get 90% on this. So this is primarily good if you have double LRs, because Kefla is not going to cater to this if you take a Kefla lead. So keep that in mind. But you can put whatever intelligence unit you want in that slot. Somebody like Intelligence Whis would be really, really good there. But since we're working with the Potara category, I would say, again, in a perfect world where you have everything, the best unit to put in that slot would be Tech Vegito for that awesome support. He's going to raise the cap offensively and defensively for this team, and he does not mind being in that third slot. Another unit that you can put there that is strictly in this category would be Kefla. Kefla is really good because of her passive. Her ability to change orbs is phenomenal. Now, one thing I do want to check up on that unit really, really quick is if she changes orbs that the team needs. If she changes any color that we need, we don't want her. She changes int types to physical, so that may not be super good. Whenever she shows up, she may basically steal orbs from the LR Goku and Vegeta / Vegito card. But one thing that's cool about the LR leader is that they get 2 extra ki every time they get a rainbow orb. So getting 1 rainbow orb allows them to get 3 ki, and when they transform, one rainbow orb gives them 4 ki. So they're really, really self-sufficient. So basically giving them 2 or 3 of those pretty much guarantees you an Ultra Super at any point prior to transformation or post-transformation. So she could be in that last slot, but she may not be there, may not want her there, especially because she does not Dokkan Awaken yet, and she doesn't have a lot of links that the team would pretty much use. The only links she has are Super Saiyan Infused Fighter, which if you get her on that rotation, in the beginning of a battle, that may not be super good with a unit like LR Goku Black, when you're trying to establish how you're going to play. So that's basically it for this team. If you don't have, here's the funny thing. If you don't have one of these units, their next version down would be the one you swap in. You don't have this guy? Well, hey, physical takes his place. It works the same way. You don't have the physical Super Vegito? Hey, AGL takes his spot. Works the same way. This is pre-Dokkan, but you get my point. Don't have STR Rose? Well, hey, he takes a slot. Don't have Tech Vegito, it doesn't really matter. You can put whatever unit you want there, any intelligence type unit, assuming that you have the double leads. If you are somebody that's not going to have the lead, you can put whatever unit you want in that last slot. In that, I'd put Kibito Kai or whatever. There's a bunch of cards that I'm not actually showing here right now that can be in the category. Don't have Goku Black? Don't fret. You can put literally any other card you want. You can put physical Goku Black. He may not work 100% as good as the Goku Black LR card, but at some point, right, if you don't have the units to fill out the team, you just can't run the category effectively. So that's all it really comes down to. Last resort option, I would say, is Merge Zamasu, because that enemy reduction, it was never that big of a deal, but the more powerful these units are, the worse that looks, the ability to do that. But either way, they're still going to be clearing events anyway, so keep that just in the back of your mind as far as Merge Zamasu goes, especially if you have a really good one, right? And then the new Zamasu card could be solid too if you need a tank and things of that nature. I believe he's a tank. Received damage by 40% reduced. So yeah, that's pretty much how that shakes down. Now here's the wild card. I want to talk about the wild card, and I have to switch over to the global database because for whatever reason on this website, he's not a part of the Japanese database. And you may or may not already know who I am talking about. I'm not seeing him here. This is global, right? Yeah, this is global. I wonder why he's not a part of this, but we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way up to no category. You know who I'm talking about. This is the wild card. So here's the thing. So many people just are mad at this unit, upset at this unit because he's not what they want him to be. That's fine. He wasn't going to get counters. He wasn't going to get additionals because if he did, he would be better than every other LR you see on this page right now. It was a mathematical fact, and it wasn't going to happen. So it wasn't going to happen because he's not a summonable LR. They have to make their, summonable cards better than their free cards in this game. Some other games, they're a little bit more judicial with things like that. They're more lenient, with things like that, but it wasn't going to happen. So working with what we have, passive is presumably, because it's been data mined, but it hasn't been applied to the card yet, so people are kind of suspicious about it. But working with what we have, 80% attack and defense on the card means he is really, really good. That is not a high percentage boost. If you look at it that way, it is not a high percentage boost. But here's the thing. They've given out enough dupes to make him 90% in the potential system. And we presume that they will add another dupe at some point to get that last 10%, which means 100% in the potential system. Meaning that 80% on top of 100% LR stats means he's a beast. And then on top of that, 170% HP and attack to this unit, along with 130. On top of that means that he is basically going to be hitting for over 1.5 to 2 million damage every single time he super attacks, alongside the fact that he has a self-sufficient passive, and he'll be tanking really, really well. His defense, I presume, will be over 120,000 easily. So keep that in mind. Do not, I repeat, do not sleep on this unit. Just full disclosure, I plan on using this unit on my team on JP whenever that becomes a thing. I plan on using him over Tech Vegito Blue. I plan on that because he has legendary power. He's going to tank better than Tech Vegito Blue. He might even hit better than him outright, in the first few super attacks until Vegito Tech starts to get going. So keep that, just, think about that, ponder on that. I don't want to say keep that in mind because I've said it 30 times in this video. Do not sleep on this card. He is better than a lot of people say he is or think he is, okay? If the TUR version can get almost 100k defense on a mono STR team and can hit 800k as a TUR with 60% boost on his passive, this guy is going to be really good with those LR stats. 100% completion of the potential system as a free card, which means you don't have to have dupes of a summonable card. You know, he's going to be really good. I just wanted to give him his chance. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new for more content, and I hope that you guys have an awesome day. Hey, I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you did, do me one more solid, do me one more favor, and if you don't play the game, if you do, vote for whoever you want, but if you don't play the game, today is actually the last day, so click on the link down below, vote for my man Marth. You don't have to sign in, it'll ask you, you can just say continue without signing in, and help me out. I want Marth to win this vote on Fire Emblem Heroes. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, have an awesome day, I appreciate you.